Hey, it's Scott Garlis at Stansberry Research. We are at the 2018 Alliance Conference here in Las Vegas. I'm here with David Tice, founder of Tice Capital.
Good to be with you, Scott.
Thanks for your time. So a couple questions for you. Great presentation, by the way. Enjoyed it. What would be your single most important piece of advice for investors?
So I would say, Scott, protect your money. You only have to get rich once. And so be cautious about your money. Two, I believe, you already asked for one, I'm sorry, but I'm such a believer in gold. I think you need to have some gold because I think the largesse that's gone on in central banks around the world. So I'd say gold is incredibly cheap today, and you should have gold in your portfolio.
You mean we should be scared about Argentina having interest rates of 60%?
Yes.
What keeps you up at night?
What keeps me up at night is, I worry about geopolitical, issues down the road. I think Russia and China both hate our guts. And I think that, so I'm glad that Trump is rebuilding our defense. I worry about asymmetric warfare. I worry about, this is getting a little dark, I guess, but, that worries me.
Yeah, one of the other speakers I know earlier had said something along similar lines that the U.S. should have stood up to Japan and Germany years ago, and he feels like Trump is doing now with China what should have happened a long time ago in those instances, and really trying to protect the best interests of things like technology and just intellectual property here in the U.S. That sounds like you would feel very much the same way.
Yes, and in fact, that's why Donald Trump has resonated with a lot of Americans. They feel like we've been too soft and we need to stand up, and I think standing up to China is the right thing to do.
So how did you get turned on to Stansberry Research?
I can't remember exactly, Scott. I'm a vociferous internet reader. I'm a believer in picking up alternative, investment ideas. And, I'd actually met Porter Stansberry maybe 20 years ago, so going way back. And so I was aware of his research, and I have seen him build his firm. And, he's put together an exceptional, group of people, some ideas. I understand he's just a tireless worker just from, the results that he's achieved. And, he's been smart on, understanding General Electric, understanding Fannie and Freddie, understanding the real estate bubble, understanding the internet, crash, et cetera. He's been prescient in understanding a lot of things, and to his credit, he's also, understood that, the bubble can go on for a while, and that you can make money at the tail end of this, through Steve Sigurds's ideas.
Yep, yeah. Having worked here for 2 years, it's pretty amazing. Porter reads everything that everybody writes. I don't know when he finds the time.
Yeah,
but it's pretty incredible.
Yeah, I've heard talked about among some other newsletter guys, like Doug Casey and other people. They say that, he's just a force of nature in terms of, what a tireless worker he is. I can certainly see that.
100%. Do you expect a rapid market rally into the end of this bull market run?
I'd say I'm 60-40 on that. I'm nervous just because that's my constitution, but, it's, Steve makes some great points. I think we're all watching the yield curve. We're all watching, the 3% on the Treasury. I worry about Donald Trump, where we're a tweet away from, some massive issue. The Chinese are getting ticked off at us, every day, and what happens there. But, and therefore, my constitution makes it hard to play what I feel like is an overvalued market, just because there's more buyers and sellers for a few more days. But 60-40, Steve's probably right. There probably will be a rally further, but then I would urge investors to, consider Stansberry's big trade idea. I know it's been one of you guys as worst performers, and then Porter laments that, but it's the way the trade's set up. I mean, I think it's brilliant.
It takes some patience, certainly.
Yeah.
And so it sounds like you're getting sort of an itchy trigger finger, so to speak. Why do you think most investors have been on the sidelines during this rally? Is it because of what happened in the financial crisis?
Well, I think there is definitely that, and there's definitely the fact that they don't trust, money printing. They don't trust, what, our central bank has done, and, the discussion around the world where we have, printed a lot of money, and we've created a lot of credit, and debt, is at coming to $2 trillion, et cetera, and people are nervous about that, and people are kind of wired where they think, that something ain't right here. So I think that's why they've been out of it. But,
2 trillion is a staggering number.
yeah, it is.
It's a staggering number. And then in your presentation, you were talking about Australian real estate and how it felt like U.S. real estate back in 2006. Where do you think the U.S. real estate market is right now in terms of valuation? Are we getting back close to where we were, or do you think valuations are still kind of okay?
So when you compare it to some of the rest of the world, like Switzerland and Australia and Canada, et cetera, it's a lot cheaper than that. This is still the best country in the world to live. If we have a global crisis again, and I am predicting a subsequent global crisis, and I think it's likely to be worse than the last one, and then we know the Fed will respond with, more QE. I worry about, prices falling another 15, 20% or so. So it is a asset that, I have some trepidation about in terms of, but it's in a lot better shape than a lot of other countries right now.
That's reassuring and concerning all at the same time. David, thank you very much for your time.
Yeah, good to be with you, Scott.
Have a great day.
Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in, and stay tuned for more updates.
If you're enjoying these videos, don't forget to press the like button. Comment down below, and if you're new here, please don't forget to subscribe. And remember to click that bell to be sure you don't miss out on our newest updates. And thanks a lot.